Well, howdy, G Money. I'm down at the river. As you can see by the title, I was about to go fishing. Got me my little dock demon. Got that little tiny panfish jig rig. Also got on my bigger rebel rod, my little beetle spin, and got a few other little goodies. I'm going to tell you why I here. Oh, a few days ago I pulled up and there was bass everywhere, all swimming all up and down the shoreline. Nothing too big. Oh, about 12 inches or less, but it does have a quick drop off. The bank does have a steep drop, almost like a mini cliff. I don't know, about 2 or 3 feet. Then it gets sandy for a few feet, and then there's a lot of vegetation. So I came back the next day, which was yesterday. There wasn't as many visible bass. I did some casting just with a few things. I couldn't find a few things that I'm going to possibly use today, but I did get one hit on the beetle spin. Looked like a crappie, perhaps. Kind of like a big white side. Like it happened so quick. And make a long story short, I didn't land the damn thing, but we're going to try it. This whole stretch from here to a telephone pole you can't see, but um, I don't know, 25 yards away or whatever. There's nobody else here, which is good. When I say here, fishing on the shoreline, there are about, I don't know, 7 or 8 boats. I see their trailers here. Let's quit talking. And the other reason I didn't catch anything yesterday, it dawned on me this morning. That's why I came back for redemption. I didn't have my here fishy fishy hat hook on. So we're going to give that a try today. We're going to start off with the beetle span. Y'all, while I'm fishing, y'all sing your favorite Beatles song. Strawberry Fields Forever, whatever you want to sing. I don't care. Let's see what happens. The other 2 rigs I have, nothing fancy or high tech today. I have an official beetle, not a beetle spin, rooster tail, then the Ozark Trail version of it, and then a little mini flipping jig, like a, I'll show you that in a minute, by Strike King. So we're going to try a few things. We're not at it real serious, but if we can catch something, you know, it'll be doing something, you know what I mean? I did see a lot of panfish yesterday. Um, Nothing of any good size other than the one I missed. They did have a fishing tournament here on Saturday. Uh, According to one guy I talked to, Bass and B TV has a YouTube channel. I don't know, about 15,000 subscribers. We messaged back and forth a little bit. Here comes somebody hauling behind on the water here. I mean, you talk about awake. He's got an awakening. But anyway, he said the fishing was tough. His son was with him. Son did okay. Um, I did see some people weighing in some fish. I didn't get to really invade their space and check it out up close, but we're just playing around today. Off to the left here, there's like a dilapidated, broken down, like wooden seawall that looks like it'd be a great ambush point. If I was on the water like these fellows are, you're going to see here shortly, I would cast parallel to that wall and hope for the best. These beetle spins don't have a lot of weight. If you ever use one, you know what I'm talking about. So it's hard to really get any good distance on them. like to try and mix up my retrieve. Sometimes I'll do like a drop and hop. Sometimes I'll just do a jerky retrieve. Sometimes I'll just do a steady retrieve. See what's happening. I always like to see when it gets close to shore if anything is trailing it. And so far, I've not seen anything. Water look clarity's not too bad. Now I'm gonna give it more like a jerky type thing. I think I should have put some Johnson juice on this little here beetle spin. It's funny how just a couple days would make a big difference. I'm not seeing any signs of the bass that were here a couple days ago. I did see a little bit of fish activity earlier, you know, little jumping out there in the middle. Nothing too aggressive, so I don't think it was a mullet. My theory is um, one of the reasons we had a little bit, sorry about that, we had a little bit of a breeze the other day, and on this edge, there's trees that are overhanging the water's edge. So there was probably like insects falling out of the trees, and the bass were probably feeding on that. That's my theory. Um, the tide was going out pretty rapidly recently, and a lot of the bugs coming out with the tide. There was fish. I could see fish like pecking at the surface. You know, couldn't see them, but you could see the swirls and stuff. So it could have been like insects floating down with the tide. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy. See if that works. I'm gonna pop it up and down. It's got that silver spoon on there, hoping to get some flash. We'll get some attention. A lot of times they'll hit it on the drop. In the past, all right, a couple more casts of this, and then we're going to switch to I don't know, maybe that flipping jig. I don't know the depth where I cast it to. If I had to guess, probably 12 feet there, probably deeper in the middle. I'd say 15 to 17 feet, perhaps. One more cast. You know the old one more cast thing? All right, it's going to come right across that point. You probably can't see it. All right. So what we're going to do here is possibly. I hear this. Nope. My thread's not going to work. I'm looking for a cutting tool. Hold on one second. This is too damn funny. Right before I went live, I said, all right, Mick. Oh, here it is. Phew. Got these little tiny scissors. Damn. So much for preparation. All right. So enough of the beetle spin for right now. All right. What we're fixing to use is the Strike King Bitsy Bug. Uh, made in Costa Rica. This particular model is the BBJ14-22. I have no idea what that means, but let's open her up, give her a shot. I don't know how well y'all can see that. It's kind of multicolored there. Can you see that right there? So it's got this little doohickey there to help prevent getting snags from the weeds. Oh, that's probably quarter-ounce jig head, I guess. Let me tie this on. Another beautiful morning down here. Yeah, I did a lot of this yesterday, just not with this rig and some other stuff, and didn't go too well. I realized the old pad hook might have helped, but even though it was a failed video, try to. Some trucks are leaving. Sorry for the noise. So I'm going to show you what I did. Just a cinch knot, clinch knot, whatever. I pull the open end, the tag line, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, about 7 or 8 inches. I'm going to give this about 6 wraps or so. And there's going to be a loop right there above the eyelet. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm going to take the open end of the line, put it through that loop, just like that. I'm a little, my hand's a little shaky. I don't know if you can see that well. So I got this line right here. I'm going to pull it back through right here. If I can grab it. All thumbs this morning. Got it. All right. So I got it. The most important part right here, I lost a couple of the wraps there. Moisten the line. So when you go to pull it down, I'm going to assist it right here. It cinches down almost like a knot. I don't know if you can see that. Get my little cutting tool. Hold on. It's so small, it gets lost in all my change. Hold on one second. It got lost because I put it on my front seat. All right. Kids, don't try this at home. All right. We're going to cut off a little bit of the tag line. I don't know, leave about 1/8 of an inch or so. I don't like to leave a whole lot. I'm going to try and show you. I don't know if you can see that. There's not much of the tag left. Some people would cut a little bit closer. I'm okay with that right there. So make sure I don't dispose of the line on the ground. I put it in my pocket. We're going to give this a shot. Yesterday, it seemed like every time I opened my mouth, a helicopter would come over. Who knows what's going to happen today? We're just going to drop and hop. There's a tree over here. This would be perfect to kind of flip it underneath. That's why they're called flipping. Oh, it's kind of a little farther up. All right. So the one thing I want to try and do try and keep it as much of a like almost like a 90-degree angle as possible with that knot. I'm gonna try and flip it up. It's only 12, 15 feet in front of me, but I'm trying to flip this flipping jig, the Bitsy bugs. See something's just laying there waiting to ambush. Hit it right on top of the board. Right next to it. All right, I'm gonna move the tripod, show you this tree, and show you the little dilapidated wall. Whoops, sorry about that. My tripod leg got hung up. So there she is. Hopefully you can see her. I think she can, I don't know. All right, so what I'm going to try and do, which is probably not the smartest thing, I'm going to flip over that wall, kind of in front of that pine tree. If I do catch something, I don't know how I'm going to get it over the little wall here, but I guess the most important thing is contact. I'm not the greatest flipping backhanded, but here we go. All right, that didn't work. Try and cast a little further in front of that pine tree. All right, I got out there a good ways. I'm going to introduce it slowly with the drop and hop method. Tide's going out. There's like debris. There's some type of debris coming down. Can't tell what that is. I probably ought to have glasses on. Can you guys see that debris out there? I don't know what that is. I can't see it that well. I just thought of something I could add to this Bitsy bug. I may try it. I would just have to go into the vein. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Some of my friends like Ted and James will know what I'm talking about. I could put a soft tail on this rig, something like a curly tail or something. Wish I knew what that was floating down river. Kind of blinded by the sun, and I can't see that far at distance. But all right, I'm gonna change the angle of the camera, show you what upstream looks like, upriver. Hopefully you can see that. That sun may be kind of blinding. All right, right next to the shoreline, parallel. There's a vertical post there. Looks like it has some type of solar panel on it. Okay, so far this has been a bust. Keep trying. I have a feeling my best option would be the rooster tail. I'm pretty confident if I had any type of cut bait, I could be catching catfish at minimum all morning long. There's an old timer I've talked about that fishes here all the time. He does great. The one day he was pulling them in left and right, and I was tooting my horn to him. But that's for some reason catfishing just does not excite me. If you're expecting caviar, you don't want to get tootsie rolls. All right, let's go back this way. I'll show you the other side, and it's a little more wide open. Let me reel this up just a tad bit more. I only got two hands, my friends. Today's hump day, or skunk day, probably. All right. Here my flip flops. I got the walking farts again. It sure sounds like it, don't it? Oh, just got hung up in that bush. Yeah, I don't have the walking farts, but might as well have something. All right, hopefully you can see. Uh-oh. All right, just saw my first bass. About 10 inches or so. All right, we're cruising up and down this shoreline right here, right where the sand meets the vegetation. There's a dude on a kayak. You might hear him talking to somebody. There's the helo. All right, purposely cast right along the vegetation line. There is some type of cable in the water. Big cable. I don't know what that's for. Maybe there's supposed to be some type of added strength for this sequel. Okay, that's a good sign. That little 10-inch bass was trailing it, investigating it. I'm gonna let him get curious. I'm gonna cast the other way and then come back to him. Right in front of this little bush here. Okay, the guy in the kayak started a conversation with somebody else down there by the boat ramp. I can't tell if it's the camp host or somebody else. There's some trees obstructing my view a little bit. The guy in the kayak said he's only been throwing artificial, like me. The other guy apparently catching a bunch of stuff. I don't know if it was here or this morning or whatever, but he said he's been catching redfish, the hybrid bass, something else. But he said he was catching on live shrimp, which is good information. It's kind of weird here because live shrimp, I, the salinity, it's kind of brackish, they say, but I don't know. Just seeing all this bass, I don't know if the live shrimp would live in a bait bucket in the water. But if you had an aerator or something or a live well, you'd probably be okay there. I wish you could see this. It looks so pretty. I'm hopping it off the bottom, right on the sand, but it's going forward approximately 10 to 12 inches per hop, only coming off the bottom 5 to 6 inches max. I thought I did see a bigger shadow, possibly from a bass. Sorry, my nose is running again. Something jumped out there. I don't think you probably had a good view of it. Double jump, that's probably a mullet. When I lived in Southwest Florida, it was always a good sign when you see the. Sorry, my nose is all messed up. It's always a good sign when you see the mullet, especially the finger mullet. Fish, a certain fish like that likes to eat finger mullet. So if you ever saw the mullet, you knew that there was other big ones around, other big predators fish. I really don't know much about fishing these waters, as I told you. But seeing the mullet, that's a good sign for the salinity level, is what you might have said. I do see right here on the edge of the sand, kind of got like cloudy, like something got kicked up that I may have missed. I really want to step up my game with the spinner baits. Now knowing if there's that many bass here that I know of, I can physically see. I love fishing spinner baits and rubber worms on the bottom. I do have plenty of soft baits. I just got to find my collection of bullet weights. I'm gonna try the drop and hop method. I should try and put on a soft tail. I may do that here in a minute. Off to my right, smaller bass, about 9 inches. I would show you, but I don't think the quality would show up with that reflection. Wish I had a good camera that had that polarization. I don't even know if my phone has that or not. But y'all hang tight for a second. I'm gonna go get me a soft tail, and I'll show you my cheap little tackle box and show you some options of what I'm thinking. All right, I'm back. I'm gonna kneel down here so you might not see me, but I'm here in front of you trying to sift through. I did use one of these yesterday. Let me pull it out. It's a little Senko wacky rig type thing. I love that. It's got all multicolored flake and fleck in there. Smells good too. Uh, Let me see what we got here. I see one candidate. I see another. Let me look through first real quick, and then I'll show you my top options that I'm seeing that I like. I think I'm narrowing it down. All right. I'm kind of liking this. If I can open the pack up. It's got the little perforated tear thingy-majiggy. Official fishing term. Thingy-majiggy. All right, so this one is this kind of suits exactly what I was looking for. 4-inch soft minnow. It's a 10 count. It's plum slash chartreuse tail. Yes, say that a few times. All right, trying to tear this a little bit better. They apparently made this child proof. Let me get my little scissors out. I like this one. One thing you want to keep in mind, sorry if I'm not looking at the camera, I'm trying to focus on the package. Talk to good fishing peeps, they'll tell you if the water's dark, use dark. If the water's light, use light. You would think it would be the other way around. This is kind of tricky. The water is somewhat clear, so it would be light. That is looking hot. I think that's what I'm going to go with. How well you can see that. It's got the flake in it. That little fast action. It's got that little fins right there. It's got the eye. So let's see if I can get this little fella rigged up here. Let me see if I pull it down a little bit more so you guys can see. I'll try and do this in front of you. There's two ways you can do this. I'm going to try it one way. I got to pull this weed guard out of the way here, off to the side. Yeah, I'm all shaky thumbs here. I'm going to put her in about. Actually, I'm gonna go this way first. About a 1/4 inch through the top of the head. Pull her through. Now I'm gonna do it the other way. I don't know. I should have thought this through. Thinking about more, trying to make a good video rather than just doing things correctly here. I'm not worried about you guys seeing this or not. I'm just gonna do it. Yes. Force it up on the bottom of the head. I'm gonna move step aside so you can see that ripple. This weed guard makes it a little difficult. Okay, kind of what I got. Definitely not perfect. It's kind of like this. So hopefully that chartreuse tail brings some action. Yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy. All right, something's definitely running up and down this vegetation sand line. You can see the little murky clouds from something being picked up. Seen a lot of little minnows. That tail looks pretty. You look pretty. Try and do this. Probably should have got that little more tight on the eyelet. That weed guard does real well. Pretty proud of that. Impressed with that, I guess is a better word. I can see some surface action, and there is a lot of stuff on top of the water, so it could be just bass or hybrids, whatever, feeding off those insects coming down with the surface debris. All right, just notice that 10-inch bass again. I could try the shrimp. There's one place that I like going to, Holly Bait and Tackle, headed towards Navarre. they're not real close, and I'm trying to conserve money for the next couple days. I get paid on Friday. Trying not to use too much fuel. But I will keep that advice in mind. Try not to fall into the river. I will tell you this: the difference between freshwater bass fishing and saltwater fishing, when you get a hit on your ride, saltwater fishing, all you want to do is reel down with your tip going down. You want to reel down. Usually you would have like a circle hook on. In bass fishing, freshwater bass fishing, you see that real aggressive jerk, that Hollywood thing everybody's doing? That's to set the hook. Totally different between freshwater and saltwater. It's hard to know here what you would catch because it's brackish, but generally, if your line's going out, uh, when I've caught bass in the past, I usually let it take it. I kind of give it, let it give for about 3 seconds, and then boom, do that Hollywood hook set. You know what I mean? One thing you learn, just like any type of sport, fishing, football, whatever it is, there's always a lesson, even in defeat. Before I wrap this attempt up, I am going to put a rooster tail on, try and coerce some of those panfish. There's definitely sunfish in here. The one yesterday that hit kind of looked like a crappie to me, but I didn't get a great view of it. But it looked to be about, my hand size or so, maybe a tad bigger. All right, looks like I'm catching the skunk, unless we get lucky on the rooster tail. Hang in there for a second. Let me go get her, and I need to get a sip of water. All right, this right here is my little rooster tail. It's so funny. I've seen these pretty much my whole life. It's a 1/24 ounce. It is made by Wardens. I never knew that it was made by Wardens. It's a RT204.YL.BX6, yellow in color. I don't know. Let's see what happens. See if I try not to cut my finger off. This is my weapon at work. My utility knife I use all night long. Well, I got some stories I'd love to tell you about work here recently, but on the professional side of things and job retention, I probably shouldn't share them quite yet, but hopefully they're coming soon. All right. So let me cut this other rig off. Where can I put this? All right. Work. cutting this off. All right, so that's off. It's funny how you can make a mess so quickly while fishing. All right. I got a little food in the truck, cold water. Probably need some water. I got a different breakfast this morning. I didn't have my bacon ready, so I just went with biscuits and gravy and some potato chunks. And actually, I kind of like the biscuits and gravy. Wasn't too expensive and different taste. Hold on one second. And it helps to have a good vision anytime you're trying to tie knots. All right. Hold on one second. All right. Line has been moistened and cinched. Find the little scissors here, and we're going to see if we can catch this panfish. This is what I call panic mode, panfish panic mode. You ever see how the Willie Robinson talk real slow and enunciate every word? Not Willie, Phil Robinson. All right, let's see what we can do. He's very light, so he's hard to cast. But, all right, real nice flash, perfect size for a smaller type panfish. All right, seeing some small bass over yonder way. Got a little too close to the bank. I want to get right on that vegetation line. Hard to get. There we go. That's where I wanted it. Got a trailer. Got a trailer. All right, they're liking that. Let's try that again. Even a little bit is like. All right, cut that out of the video. I prevented one snag to get another snag. Come back into right where I wanted it. Yeah, it's definitely right on the vegetation line. Good thing about these spoons that go round and round like that, you're going to make a fluttering vibration, sound and feel for them. All right, so the last few casts have been kind of like jerky, jerky, jerky. I'm going to do a steady retrieve now, see if that does anything. right, we're going to do the Fisherman's Old Reliable. Just one more test. So I was just sitting here thinking what I might do for me and my friend. I might go to Amazon, buy me a skunk, and every time one of us fail, we'll just mail it to the next recipient as the reward. Who wants to be in on the skunk? All right, my friends. I think that's a wrap and a failure. Definitely earned a skunk today. There is a place I could go to. I just don't like fishing around other people. It seems to be a little more uh, different than what I'm used to. All right. I don't like doing this, but I'm going to do exactly what you're not supposed to do. Should put your hook on the ceramic guide, but there was nothing behind it, and this rod does not have a hook keeper. With that being said, there's, like I said, there's always something to learn in failure and defeat. Um, how you work moving forward is, a lot of it has to do with tides and moon phase and all that. Honestly, I I'm not making excuses. Some days the fish are hungry, some days they're not. So here we are, September 17th. I don't know what time it is, 10:30. I'm going to call this video a wrap. And sorry I didn't have more entertainment for you, but maybe there was something in there educational. I don't know. Well, talk to you next time. Ooh, doggy. Let me try it. There the hell's that?